breads. We've got to change our behaviors. We need to think as individuals and families. How we shop, how we exercise, how we work, how we let our kids play. We have some incredible dining options in Boise. For downtown restaurants, many of them have parking meters in front of them. And so one of the actions we will take tonight is that we will start to close meters in front of each restaurant so that if you call and place an order for pickup or to have it hand delivered to you, you'll be able to park right in front of the establishment without pay. Those are reserved for pickup spots. I'll say this, COVID-19 is giving us a sequence of rapid response needs. It is time as a community, a state, and a country that we think about how we innovate. We have to make new decisions, live in new ways, and I believe at the end of this, it will have been better to have taken action early than to have realized that we took it too late. My second announcement is about childcare and childcare licensing to ensure public health and safety workers have access to childcare. License renewals take place through the city, and those that are expiring in March and April will be extended by 8 weeks to ensure, through the end of April, to ensure that childcare facilities may remain open. Those who need childcare in this time of crisis aren't having to worry about whether the childcare facilities that provide their children care are licensed. We will extend those that already have licenses. And our clerk's office that provides licenses will remain open and by appointment have opportunities for new childcare workers who need to be licensed to come in for fingerprinting and paperwork. The fingerprinting and background checks are required by the federal government, and so we'll be offering this appointment here at City Hall as usual, however, by appointment. And then finally, I have one more announcement. In keeping with in keeping with the CDC's recommendations on gatherings limited to 10 people, we're issuing Public Health Emergency Order number 2001 today, which suspends the meetings of the following City of Boise commissions and committees until further notice. The committees that we are suspending are citizen committees that advise different departments, send up recommendations to the City Council, such as Arts and History, Design Review, Public Works, the airport, including the Planning and Zoning Commission meetings. And we're doing this because we value deeply the importance of public process and transparency. So rather than limiting those meetings and attendance, rather than making it more difficult for the public to weigh in, we will be disbanding those meetings for 30 days, and then we'll reevaluate. Some people have asked me about city council meetings, and I'll say this. City council meetings do not fall under this order. However, for the next 30 days, we will not be conducting any items of business beyond perfunctory run the city items of business. There will be no items that would have a public hearing because we do not want to have people come in here or feel as though they cannot come in here for health reasons. And so a city council meeting on Tuesday will look like this. We'll gather at 6. We'll start the meeting. We'll have an update on our recovery and our response and recovery of the COVID-19 virus, and then we will take any items that have to be covered, such as checks, and then from there we will have other strategic updates for the council. We'll continue to offer more information on this and other matters daily, and I encourage everyone to visit the site cityofboise.org/COVID-19, and we expect that by the end of day tomorrow we will have a special phone number and email for any inquiries related to this and other items. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll be standing for a couple questions from media outlets.
We do have time to answer a few questions that the media have been asking on the live stream. The first one is, can you reiterate your instruction about restaurants and talk a little bit about how many restaurants this affects in the city of Boise?
So this affects all restaurants and bars in the city of Boise, and following the model of other cities around the country that have taken this step, we will allow drive-in, drive-up, drive-through, delivery, and takeout service at all or any restaurants that wish to continue business like that.
And you mentioned the parking meters in front of those restaurants. How far of a radius? Is it just the first few spots in front? What are you looking at as far as how far that will go?
We're looking at the number of establishments on every block where meters exist and then determining how many how many per block. Some blocks will have 2 right in the center. Others will have more based on the number of restaurants that they have. And I'd like to say that over the last day, Tuesday night was when we passed the ordinance that gave the authority to take these measures in consultation with the City Council. We all agree that steps are needed to be taken. The City Council will be weighing in on this on Tuesday. The parking came about from conversations that we've had with restaurateurs that are concerned about the health of their employees, of course, the economy that we're currently experiencing due to the pandemic, and then the needs if you're going to have a delivery and drive-up business.
We also received a question about employees at those businesses who will be impacted. What steps are you taking to help those workers and support them during this shutdown?
Sure. All of us in many sectors are going to be experiencing economic difficulty. We have assured restaurateurs and employees that have reached out to me asking me to take this step that we will advocate fiercely for unemployment benefits. We will have to develop a plan regionally for how we recover as we move through this, and it's these employees as well as others that will be seeking support and help from local, state, and federal authorities.
And the last question that we have time for, we were also asked specifically about churches. How does this impact recommendations for other places where there's typically large gatherings of people?
Sure, that's a great question. The question was about how this impacts other large gatherings. The CDC guidelines are clear that there should be no more than 10 people in one place at once to curb the spread of the virus. And the reason we want to curb the spread of the virus is so that we are sure that we don't inundate our hospitals with those who need respirators, ventilators, et cetera, and that we don't become vectors and hurt the most vulnerable populations in our community. As I also said, that this is a quick moving and we're learning new things every day and we're evaluating the steps that we need to take as a city to protect our residents. Today we are addressing restaurants, bars, and dine-in facilities, but rest assured that at the same time we're having to have conversations about what the CDC guidelines mean in terms of how we regulate business and protect the health and public safety of our community.
And one more that just came in. Can you talk a little bit about if there will be enhanced screenings or additional things put in place at the airport?
The airport is working right now on plans to protect the health and safety of the public while they remain open, because as an airport facility, they must remain open. We'll have more details on that as they come out. Thanks so much for joining me in this new way of having a press conference so that we have distance among us. I really appreciate the time.